So, let us close your eyes. Let us do simple practice and tell me what happened after that. Eyes are closed and you are looking at your own body. Eyes are closed gently. You are looking at your own body from the crown of the head to the toes. Your eyes are closed. Spine is more or less straight, but not overstretched. You feel comfortable and eyes are closed. You're looking inside the heart in the space. Why we are looking inside the heart in the space? The entire journey of yoga is to move the mind within. Again, question comes, why to move the mind within? To know my true nature. But why to know my true nature? To discover permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Recheck again. The body is steady. Body is not moving now, and mind is looking deep inside the heart. Now, I will call in response. I will say one time, and then you repeat after me mentally with a no loudly, little loudly. So, asatuma satgamaya. Now say it loudly so that I can also hear what you are saying. Unmute your
Asato
ma.
Satagamaya.
Unmute your sound. Hidden, yes. So now again, your body is steady, mind is looking within. Asato ma satgamaya.
Asatoma Satagamaya.
Beautiful. One more time. Asatu ma satgamaya.
Satoma Satagamaya.
And remain as you are. If you see that if the body is steady and the mind keep looking within, then it becomes very easy for you not only to say it. So literally it means lead us from unreal to real. What is that? Move from unreal to what is unreal? My anxiety, stress, duality, conflict in my life, that is unreal. And what is the real? Permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. So, whenever your mind says you are in anxiety, you are in stress, then simply repeat this mantra will help you to move the mind within. So we will again do the call and response three times. The second line. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Very good. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
So it simply means lead us from darkness to light. So darkness represents ignorance. Ignorance is incomplete knowledge. Incomplete knowledge causes lot of stress, fear, anxiety, problem, and suffering in our life. And when we have a complete knowledge, that is wisdom, that drops all our fears, anxiety, duality, and a conflict. But the practice has to be done when the mind keeps looking within and the body is steady. Third line. Mrityorama amritangamaya. Mrityur.
Mrityurma Amritangamaya.
Mrityurama amritangamaya.
Mrityurma
Mrityurama
Amritam Gamaya.
tangamaya. Beautiful. Keep looking inside. Mrityurama amritangamaya.
Mrityurma
Mrityurama
Amritam Gamaya.
beautiful. So, what it means? It means we move, lead us from death to immortality. So, what is death? When we continue to listen to the mind, its craving, its pleasure seeking ideas, then what happens? We continue to suffer, and that suffering is known as death. And what is immortality? When we discover our real nature, and then what happens? Then what happens? Then we find we find the true nature, and that is the nature of immortality. And now mentally, now loudly. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us do it together two more times. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. One more time. Om. Take another deeper breath. Shanti, Shanti. We have done it loudly. Now, if we do it mentally, the effect is 1000 times more. Recheck. The body is steady, the mind is looking deep inside the head. So now I will say it loudly, but you sing mentally and listen to it mentally what you are singing. Asatuma Satgamaya. You are doing it mentally with me. Asatuma Satgamaya. Not only you are listening to me, but you are also listening to what you are singing in your mind. Asatuma Satgamaya. Meaning of Asatoma Satgamaya is lead us from the unreal to real. Whenever we feel stress, suffering in our life, our mind is moving into the false nature, unreal nature. And the moment the mind moves to the real nature, we enter into peace and calmness. Second line, tamasoma jyotirgamaya. You are doing it mentally. What will happen? The body will freeze down. You will start feeling some sensation. If you are doing it with the steadiness of the body and the mind is looking inside the heart, then only it will bring the 100% result. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Meaning is moving from darkness to light. So, darkness represents our ignorance. When we are obstinate, when we are crying, when we have problem, when we experience those, it is because of ignorance, incomplete knowledge. So, what yoga teaches us, whenever we are in suffering, let us find out, let us move to the right knowledge and the right perception. What will happen? The mind will leave the ignorance and you'll be in peace and happiness. Third line. Mrityurama amritangamaya. Mrityurama amritangamaya. Mrityurama amritangamaya. Death to immortality. What is the death? If the mind sits in the body, if the mind is sitting outside, you see, for example, the mind, you say to the, no, I want a latest iPhone. So where the mind is sitting? In the iPhone. Now ask yourself, is happiness present in the iPhone? And if happiness is present in the iPhone, then everyone should buy it. Then there is no need for doing even meditation, yoga, or taking the pills. Everyone will be happy possessing the iPhone. Example. So, what it means? That where the mind is sitting, if the mind is sitting with the real self, it awakens you to inner peace and happiness. That is the meaning of the third line. And now, mentally, you hear what you are singing in your mind. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Two times more mentally. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And stay there for a while and see what happens. That is how these mantras are being chanted loudly and mentally. There are, in fact, four steps of chanting, four stages. We have covered only two. We'll be doing two more in our next lesson. And now bring your mind to the right hand, your mind to the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences, bring the hands down. How are you, Avery?
Good.
How are you, Hayden?
I'm good.
Do you feel good?
Yeah.
Do you want to feel good 24 by 7?
Yeah.
Really? Are you sure? So, promise to yourself. What you have to promise? I tell you beautiful thing that I normally talks to adults and those who have lot of challenges. So what you do? So promise yourself before sleep and after you wake up, you do this kind of a chanting. Before the moment you sleep, you just lie down the bed. Three times you say loudly with the meaning, looking inside the heart, and three times mentally. And you sleep before sleep you do it. Why? Why should you do it? We should know the answer. If there is a right knowledge, then the mind gets inspired. But even if the intellect is inspiring you to do it, you remember, and the mind says, "No, I feel sleepy, I will do it tomorrow." Then you are missing the point. Why? Why we should do it before sleep, and why we should do it after waking up? Do you have any idea? No, let me explain you. Don't worry, I'm going to answer you. So you see that before you sleep, all the desires, anxiety, good and bad, negative and positive thoughts sleep with you. In deep sleep, if these thoughts sleep with you, they disturb you, they disturb your sleep. You may have a bad dream. That is why when we chant like this before sleep, what is going to happen? Your sleep will be better. You will not have any dream that will scare you. And if you are doing it regularly without break for only 5 weeks, then what is going to happen? Your dream will be based on this mantra. Your behavior will change, your attitude will change. It is such a powerful mantra. Normally, in yoga studio, they chant it, they don't tell you the meaning, they don't tell you the power. So, why 5 weeks? Because you increase the power in you to invoke the power of mantra. Are you getting it? No, the money is power, no doubt. You have $1 million. Yeah, suppose a guy has $1 billion, and every day he wakes up, and first thing that he does, he goes to the liquor store. So is that wealth a power? That will turn into a weakness. Why he goes to? Because of craving and obsession. So that craving and obsession also disappears by the regular practice. Did you get it? Now, why you should practice before, after waking up?
To start the day right.
Start the day, that is good. Another point. Now ask yourself, I'll tell you the way. When you wake up, your mind reminds you of your house, your parents, right? Your desires. Now, if you invoke the mind with these positive desires, the entire day will be good. And yesterday you had some challenges, you felt very bad, you had anxiety, you had some tension. That tension and the anxiety will not be repeated the next day. So, what I tell you, 5 weeks regular. So I don't say that you promise me because you want to be a good person. So you have to promise to yourself. If you feel that somebody is listening, it's crazy, do it mentally. No worries. Clear? I have told you, and I trust you will be doing it. So now, the first headline is Great Dictionaries. Topic is Great Dictionaries distort the meaning of what? Meaning of yoga. So I said yoga, Sanskrit word. So Webster Dictionary says what it says. It is a part of Hinduism. Why they say it, I don't know. They distort the meaning. Why? So you may write down and you may understand whatever you want to do. I'm going to send you the audio file if you like to listen to this beer guy so you can listen to it. So the word Hinduism was not there when yoga was discovered. So that is why I say they distorted the meaning of yoga. Hinduism was not, the word Hinduism was not there. There was no religion when yoga was discovered. Right? So if anyone asks you, what? People, no, 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 it's a religion, then you can easily answer it. Is iPhone religious? iPhone is discovered by Christians, so is iPhone Christian? Same way you should answer. If someone says it is religion, then you say, okay, iPhone is Christian, Android phone is Christian, clothes that you are wearing is Christian. No. The same way, yoga has nothing to do with any religion. Now, see the second bullet point. It is coming from, it is coming from the same Webster dictionary. That is why I tell people that if you want to learn yoga, you should learn from a teacher who is well versed in the teachings of the great masters. And not anybody can become a yoga teacher unless you are well versed with the text that was present almost 3,000 years ago. So, oneness of Atman and Brahman is the true definition of Sanskrit word yoga. What is that? It is the union of individual and transcendental consciousness. Now, see another distortion. Atman. Atman, breath. So, Atman means the real self. It has nothing to do with the Hinduism. It has nothing to do with religion. Then another word they have distorted. They say yoga has to do with the Brahma. So Brahma is a religious god. It has nothing to do with the Brahma. Then you see that from Columbia Encyclopedia, that is also encyclopedia, that defines the yoga is a general term for a spiritual discipline in Hinduism. So I made it very clear that Hinduism was not present 6,000 years ago when yoga was discovered. Are you getting it what I'm saying? So why I'm talking and discussing with this? So whenever you find any person who uh, who challenges you, so you can answer them. Even the Oxford American Dictionary says it is a Hindu system, and there is a Thorndike dictionary, comprehensive desk dictionary, that also says Hindu religious philosophy, a Hindu discipline. So we have to answer uh, our seekers and the students of yoga to make them clear. Are you getting it? I gave one example. iPhone. Is iPhone Christian? Is the glasses hidden you are wearing is Christian? You see that? Just answer them plainly, softly. No, it cannot be. So the same thing yoga. Why? Yoga is a technology. It is a tool. What is the goal of that yoga? Is a self-discovery to find true nature, to become a good and better person. Clear? Let us move to the second headline. What is the second headline? What yoga is not. First, we should be very clear what yoga is not. So, the above topic made it clear that yoga is not a religion. Second point, Yoga is not a magic or trick. Are you seeing the document that you have? Yoga is not a magic and trick. Many people say, come on, I will bless you, I will show you many colors, I will help you meet the God. Don't believe them. Don't go to them. Yoga has nothing to do with the magic and trick. Is iPhone magic and trick? Same way. Yoga is a technology. Yoga is purely a technology. Some people say, no, no, yoga means you have to go to the Himalayas, the mountains, and waste your time. No, it has nothing to do with renunciation or outside. It has nothing to do with enjoyment. The fourth bullet point I have written is yoga only a physical practice? Answer is no. Is yoga only a mental practice? The answer is no. Is yoga wearing special clothes, following rites and rituals? Answer is no. Yoga is neither a part of Hindu religion nor Hindu discipline. Hinduism is word that fits religion according to the West. For Hindu, he is neither Hindu nor belongs to any cult. He belongs to eternal tradition. What I said, did you understand? That Eastern wisdom means knowledge. So, Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge that helps us to become good, better, and the best person by discovering, by finding our true nature. Can you cry? Can you cry just now? Aiden is saying yes, she can cry. Can you cry just now? And can you smile? You see, you can instantly smile, but you cannot cry. Because cry is not our real nature. Do you see that? That is what we have to understand. What is not our real nature cannot happen instantly. Now, can you plan to be angry after 1 hour? Even if you plan, and at the time you want to be angry, the anger will not come to you because it is not your nature. Are you understanding, Hayden? Every? Huh? You see, these are very small points, but very big points to understand. Can you ever plan to be angry, agitated, stressed after 1 hour? No. There cannot be any planning to become stress. But can I plan to be in peace? Can I plan to relax? The answer is yes. Clear? If you don't understand, let me know. Getting it? So, just I said, our real nature is made up of permanent peace, happiness, love, wisdom, truth. So, if the mind moves towards the truth, the mind instantly responds. I just asked you, can you cry? And you started thinking, why this beard guy is saying me to cry? But when I said keep a smile on the face, the smile comes instantly. No? That smile shows manifest happiness from the mind, and that is why we can instantly do what is our real nature. We cannot do it instantly what is not our real nature. Clear? So now we come to the fourth point, yoga, 4 issues. Normally people say that yoga and science are different. What the science follows, yoga also follows. So always remember the 4 words. Now you see, starts from H. Here, hetu, han, hanopaya. Can you say here, hetu?
I can't connect to the Wi-Fi network.
Han.
You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
Okay, Google, stop it.
I can't connect to the Wi-Fi network. You might want to check the connection settings
Google
in the
is
Google
also
Home app.
listening. So here, hetu, han, hanopaya. 4. Now we should understand the word here. What is the real nature of affliction? Affliction, you can write pain and suffering. What we should reject in our life, yoga tells us. And by default, we also know it. Should you reject anxiety, stress, duality, conflict, hatred, or should you accept it? Tell me. Should you reject when you are upset, anger, hesitation, hatred, likes, dislikes? Should you reject them or should you accept them?
Reject them as the false nature.
Very good. When you reject them, it means what? The moment you experience them, you become aware and you reject them. That is the beginning of yoga. What happens to us? Do we really reject them in our life? We hate a person and we continue to hate. We sleep, still the mind is thinking. We dislike a person, still the mind continues to think about dislike, hatred, anxiety. Is it not so? So our mind must reject what is to be rejected. And so clear what is to be rejected?
The false nature.
Yes, you're right. We have to reject our false nature. But the moment the false nature takes over our mind, we continues to be upset. That upset comes from because of the false nature. Now the second, hey tu, what is the cause of
Can't
that?
connect to the Wi-Fi network. You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
Okay, Google, stop it.
I can't connect to the Wi-Fi network. You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
I have to. This is a machine, we have to adjust it. Anyhow, hetu. Hetu means what is the cause of suffering? We should know always the reason behind our being upset, hatred, like, dislike. And when we understand that cause, then we find that cause is outside. That is what yoga tells us. Han. Han is what is the state of absence of all suffering. So Han literally means absence of the suffering. So what happens when there is absence of suffering? The permanent peace from inside, happiness from inside, joy from inside starts revealing in the mind, and we experience our real nature. Did you get it? Just you have to remember only 4H. He, hetu, han, hanopaya. And what is hanopaya? Hanopaya means the method, the practices, the steps to change, to move from the false to the real nature. And the entire yoga, this is the summary of entire yoga. Did you understand it? He, hetu, han, hanopaya. I always remember 4H. I never forgot it. First H is here, second H is hetu, third is han, four is hanopaya. Just 4H, abbreviation, acronym. So when you remember the 4 acronym, He means what is the real nature of the suffering? Or you simply say He means suffering. Hetu. Second H means cause. Third H means absence of suffering. Fourth H means method. So even the asana, pranayama, pratyahara, mudra, yama, niyama, there are 52 different groups of practices given by the teacher to the students to bring an end to the suffering. Clear? Okay. Now come to the fourth. Yoga history. So, how can you tell that this object is 6,000 years old? Do you know that? Science says there is a carbon cycle. There is a footprint. Now, tell me how the FBI knows that you have touched your car, but you don't see the fingerprints. They use some powder, some chemical, they sprinkle it on your car, and then they can take the photograph of the fingerprints, and then they find out that this finger finger impressions belongs to you. This is one way. Similarly, the science has found out a technique that anything, have you heard or read any news? Oh, this monolith, this stone, this sculpture is 5,000 years old, because they extract the carbon and they find out. Clear? So one of them is known as the fossil in the sculptures. They are found in India, which is 3,500 years BC, plus 2,000, so almost 6,000 years old. Before Christ. So what is the year now? 2020. 2021. So it means it started with the first year as before Christ. So BC means before Christ. So you have to add 2021 plus 3,500. So almost 6,000 years old. We have the fossils and the sculptures. It is found in National Museum. And these stone sculptures they look like yogic asanas, yogic postures. So that proves that yoga is 6,000 years old. Clear? How do you prove? If someone says, how do you know that it is 6,000 years old? So you can tell them. Second bullet point I have written Shruti and the Smriti. So Shruti means, literal meaning is heard, revealed. And the Smriti means it pertains to the memory. You can write down for your understanding. Smriti means memory. So what is memory? You have done one practice, and once you return from the practice, you just told me I feel very good. So that is your memory. And one is revealed. What is that revealed? When you go into a deeper meditation, the knowledge is revealed into you. So great masters, when they sat into meditation, the knowledge was revealed, and it was scribed in Rig Veda. Rig Veda is the name of the text. When it was almost 7,000 years ago. 5 plus 20, 21. So Rig Veda gives us many teachings of yoga, which is 7,000 years old. There are 4 Vedas. They all are 7,000 years old. They give some references, teachings of yoga. Then another group of texts, they are known as Upanishad. You can write down Veda simply means a group of texts. Veda literally means knowledge. So where there is a knowledge of the real nature, that is known as Veda. There is another group of texts which is known as Upanishad. Upanishad. So they are also almost 4,000 years old. There are maybe 108 Upanishads. They teaches us what is yoga, why to practice yoga. They have given hundreds of practices. So we are answering the question, how you can prove that yoga is more than 6,000 years old. First is we have the sculptures, images, stone images. Second is the text that reveals the knowledge of yoga. There are group of texts. First group of text is Rig Veda. The second group of text is Upanishad. Third group of text is Smriti. I have written the number. The Smriti books are in number, they are 230. Then we have Puranas, another books, 18. Gita, there are 8 Gitas. They are also the name of the text. Tantra, American Indian way. There are 250 texts in Tantra. Then we have Sutra. We are going to study the Sutra. And like this, you see that you have so much of evidence that yoga is more than 6,000 years old. Sometimes people say, how can you prove it? So if you remember, if you understand, and the way I have explained to you, if you explain in a similar fashion, you will come to know. And the person you talk to it who doesn't believe, he will say, yes, now I can really understand and I believe it. Clear? So that asatoma satgamaya is common mantra in many of these texts. That is where we started our journey today. Do you have any doubt, question? No doubt? No question? Okay. So now come to the next heading. What is yoga? So first we will understand the word, meaning of the word yoga. Yoga has, you see that I have written, you see the bullet point, Yujir Yogi. The first meaning is union, uniting. Second meaning is highest state of consciousness. That means our real nature. So you can write down basically the 3 basic definitions of yoga. So you can write down. I'm also writing and correcting in the paper. First, it is a state. It is the state of real self. Second, it is the process. What is the process means? It is a process means union. Third is method. Now, did you understand clearly? So, yoga, the word yoga means 3 ways we can explain. Yoga has multiple meaning. First meaning is state of the real self that we get in the highest meditation. Second, we get in as a process union between union between individual and supreme consciousness. And third is the method. That is why we practice asana, we practice pranayama, we practice pratyahara, We practiced yama and niyama. We just practiced mantra. Clear?
Mhm.
Okay, so where our Hayden has gone. So let us take a break for 10 minutes. Go through it or take a break, and then we will go again to the next session.